of Thebes, Dionysus is back. This is where the daughter of Cadmus Semele carried me in her womb And now here I am again. Here are the springs of the nymph Dirce. Do you know her story? It's a really good myth. Her niece Antiope got raped by God. Don't laugh! And her sons were raised by shepherds up on Mount Kithron. For some ungodly reason, Dirce wanted Antiope killed. And so she nearly persuaded the girl's own sons to tie her to the horns of a bull. But Dirce is the one who ends up gouged to death. But it's not a comedy, I swear to you. You can see it in the famous Euripides play, Antiope. Of course, you can't see it because only fragments remain. It was torn to pieces by time. But I saw it after all was played in my honor at the festival of Dionysus. And it was good. It was very good. Euripides killed it in that one. Oh, and here is her father Ismenus, the river god. Yeah. Oh, and here is my mother's memorial. The remains of her house burnt down by the flame of God's fire. It still burns the eternal inhuman wrong done to my mother by Hera. Cadmus was right to make this place a shrine to Semele. For this, I quit the rich countries of the Phrygians and the Lydians. I traveled across the sunburnt plains of Persia, across the mountains of Bactria, the treacherous terrain of the Medes, across blessed Arabia, and the whole of Asia, where the seas are salty, and the cities have big, beautiful towers, and the Greeks and the barbarians sleep together, and they get themselves all mixed up. They know my mysteries there. They know how to dance the dances of Dionysus. And now I've come back to Greece. To this Greek city, first where my divine power can be seen and experienced by those who lack the power to see the divine. Thebes! First among the Greek cities, I call out to you! My mother's sisters, the ones who have the least cause, have said that I was not born of God, and that my mother just gave herself up to someone who was just passing through, an ephemeral affair, nothing immortal about it, and that she put the blame for her indiscretion on God. That was Cadmus's idea. And for that, those windbags said that God killed her for saying that he was the father of her unborn child. Can you believe that? Her own sisters. So, I've put on my fawn skin, and now I have a thyrsus in my hand, and I've stung them out of the palace in an inspired frenzy. Now they make the mountain their home. They are in an altered state of mind. I have made them put on the costumes of my rituals. All of the women of Thebes I lured out of here like madwomen. Now they're up there on Kithron intermingling with Cadmus's girls, sleeping together in the open air on the rocks beneath the trees. This city needs to learn, like it or not, it is not paying me or my rituals the respect due of God! And then I will speak out in defense of my mother's honor! And so, here I am, appearing before you fallible creatures as the divine Son of God. Now what's happening is this. Cadmus has given up the rule of the city to his daughter's son Pentheus. And Pentheus has a quarrel with the gods, or at least with me. You see, when you people, Pentheus's people, pour out wine in honor of the gods before you drink, I, Dionysus, the god of wine, by God, am banished from your proceedings. And nobody, not one of you, remembers me in your prayers. And I have come to show you that I was born a god. And in order to do that, I have taken on the appearance of a mortal and tossed on the nature of a man. Ladies, ladies, my legions from Lydia, are you not my entourage, my escorts, my ecstasies, lured away from Tmolus and those barbarians? Do I hear drums? Ooh. Mother of the gods and the mistress of time started this speech. Go! Dance for Pentheus and his people! Fill the city with music so that all may see! I am headed to the hills of Kithaeron to dance with my newest disciples, the newest devotees of Dionysus, the women of Thebes.
Where am I?
In a land far, far away.
I have the feeling we're not in Asia anymore.
Come, we're making it look like holy Mount Tmolus.
For Dionysus, come help us.
Hurry, take this.
Over here, over here.
Oh, nice good work.
This is fun.
What the fuck?
Who is in the way?
Who is in the way?
Go! Get him out of the way, inside!
If you don't have anything nice to say.
Then keep your mouth shut.
Now we're going to celebrate Dionysus with a song.
The way it's always been done. And always will be.
Oh, godlike happiness.
Divine bliss.
Know the mysteries of the gods.
Pure, holy nourishment.
Set your soul free.
I'm dancing through the hills.
Purge your unhealthy thoughts.
The laws of nature demand. The laws of the great mother Cybele.
Stir Dionysus! Go, Bacchae, go deliver the Son of God. Bring him to the wide streets of Greece.
Ooh, this is from the mountains of Phrygia.
A rare vintage.
The god Dionysus himself drinks it. Dionysus was thrown out, you know.
By his own mother.
Out of the womb.
She was forced by birth pangs.
The thunder of God was swarming above her.
She lost it?
She didn't have the strength.
She left.
Absented herself.
Her whole life, just like that.
In a flash.
Straight away, Dionysus was received by God.
He put him in an incubator.
In
his eye.
All covered up.
Secured with golden pins.
Hera never saw a thing.
And when it came time,
God gave birth.
Took out his horns like a bull.
and he crowned him with coiling snakes.
That's why we made her throw her hair around.
And it's wild! People of Thebes, you nursed Emily, you raised her, you fed her, you watched her grow into a woman.
The mother of Dionysus.
Crown yourself with ivy.
Go on, you
deserve it.
Stuff yourself with the beautiful green fruit of the great holm oak.
Quercus
ilex.
Here, try some. Seriously, you can eat them. They've been washed.
Look, Silenus will eat one.
Silenus will eat anything.
Come on, whip yourselves into the spirit of Dionysus.
Where's her fawn skin?
Yes, how were they
Fawn Let's make them dance.
Yes, let's make them dance.
Dance like a god.
All at once the whole earth will dance with you.
To the mountains!
To the mountain. We're waiting.
In the mountains is where it all happened. In the mountains is where it all began. On the rivers of Crete, where the Cretes dwell. No? You've heard of Crete, yes? Well, that's where God was born. And the Cretes, or some call them spirits, gods of the mountainside. Well, they were born of the earth, fully armed and ready for battle, just like your fathers, the sons of Cadmus, right here in Thebes. Only unlike you, they worship the Holy Mother, the mother of God himself. Now, the story goes that when God was born, his mother, in collusion with the goddess of the earth, knew very well what selfish, negligent, and destructive acts men were capable of. So together they hid him on the island of Crete and asked the Cretes to look after him. Hang on, I'm really sorry. I forgot to tell you. God's father was in the habit of eating his children as soon as they were born because he'd been told that one of them would overthrow him. So anyway, God, being a baby, would sometimes cry just like any other baby. And the Cretes were worried that his father would hear him crying and come down to Crete and find him and eat him too. So what they did was they made drums. And they were the first to do this, or so it said. And they mixed in the sweet sound of flutes and pipes and trumpets and horns. And they all put on helmets with 3 feathers sticking out of them. And they danced around, not so refined as we do, but like this. Very powerfully, a show of force, all warlike. They were men, you see. And all this dancing and prancing caused such a ruckus that you couldn't hear that baby cry, even though he had the lungs of a god. Not beneath all that noise. And seriously, they were making such a scene that even the father of the gods himself would think twice about messing with the Cretes. Now, the songs they were dancing to are close cousins of the songs of Dionysus passed down by the satyrs who also danced to worship the Holy Mother. And these dances were joined to the dances of the festivals held in honor of Dionysus. And that's what we're doing here. Celebrating Dionysus. So, you with me, Thebes?
Yeah!
I'm sorry, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
Yeah!
Can I get an ah? Can I get a Dionysus? so sweet in the mountains.
Oh, but he falls to the ground after the dance.
Wearing the fawn skin.
Hunting the blind slaughtered goat.
Delicious raw meat.
And then he runs off to the Phrygian mountain.
Or the Lydian
And he
mountain.
leads the dance there.
The field flows with milk.
It flows with wine.
Flows with the nectar of bees.
The Thebes is on fire.
Smoking like Syrian incense.
Aloft to the hand of Dionysus.
He darts about here and there.
Stirring lost souls with his dance.
Swaying them with his song.
Shaking his long hair in the air.
Far above the shouting
And the screaming! The shrieking of the Maenads.
His voice rings deep.
Go, Buckeye!
Go, Buckeye!
Follow the river that flows with gold. Sing of Dionysus.
Celebrate the God of all that is good.
The sweet sounding staggered pipe.
This is time to get together.
Time to dance. To the mountain. To the mountain.
Every time that happens, I move my feet like a lost young pup that's happy to see its mother again.
Who's in there? Who's guarding the door? Call Cadmus out of the house, the son of Agenor, the one who quit the ancient city of the Sidonians to come here and build these Theban towers. Someone go! Tell him that Tiresias is looking for him. He knows why I'm here. He knows what this old man has in store for that dignified graybeard. To entwine the thyrsus, to wear the skin of a fawn, to crown their heads with sprigs of ivy. Ah!
Oh, good friend! I heard your voice from inside the house, and I said to myself, now those sound like the wise words of a wise man. I came prepared, in the garb of the god. He's the son of my daughter, the god among men, the Nam. Build him up, I say, build him up. Where do I dance? Where do I stomp my feet and shake my gray head? Show me the way, Tiresias. One old man leading another old man. Oh, you know how it is, rattling the earth day and night. But I'll never get tired. I have pleasantly forgotten what it's like to be old.
You feel the same as me then. I am in the prime of my youth. I've hit puberty. I'll have a go at the dances.
Let's drive to the mountain.
That's no way to respect the god.
I'm an old man, Tiresias, and you're an old man, but I'll follow your footsteps to school and back.
It ain't schoolwork, Cadmus. No need to slave over it. The god will take us there with no trouble.
Are we the only ones in the city dancing for Dionysus?
We're the only ones with our heads on straight. All the others are bad people.
It's been a long time coming. Here, take my hand. Yes, let's joke hands. I wasn't born a man to disrespect the gods.
There's no getting wise to the gods. These are ancient traditions, as old as time itself. And they're ours, given to us by those who have come and gone before us. They're gifts meant for us to open and find the meaning within. There is no logic that renders them meaningless. Not even the most skilled arguments from the most brilliant scientific minds. Who will say that I should feel ashamed of my old age, my head crowned with ivy, ready to dance? The god does not discriminate. He doesn't say whether it's the young or the old who should dance. Dionysus wants to be honored by everyone together. He wants us all at once. Everyone together.
Since you can't see the light of day, I'll tell you what's happening. For once I'll be your prophet. That's Pentheus coming back to the palace post-haste. Echion's boy. The one I gave control of. Oh, He looks terrified. Listen.
Getting out of the city, it just so happens I was away. I heard that some new evil had descended upon our city. A number of our women have abandoned their homes for some pseudo-ritual, a made-up religion, nothing more than a depraved party off in the mountains, women running around in the shadows. This new god they call Dionysus, they worship with dances. The wine jars are overflowing in the middle of their religious ceremonies, and in the middle of the night, they sneak off into the wilderness to minister the beds of men. And these raving madwomen excuse themselves under the pretext that they are sacrificial priests. But obviously they'll take Aphrodite over Dionysus. The ones I've caught, my men are keeping them safe in the public shelter, their hands tied. Those that have fled, I will hunt them out of the mountains. I'm talking about my own mother, Agave, and her sisters, Ino and Otonoe. I will yoke them all together in chains. I will put an end to these criminal desecrations. They say that a foreigner has come among us, an enchanter from Lydia. They say that his long hair smells sweet and that his dark eyes shine with the charms of Aphrodite. Day and night he hangs out with our young girls, victimizing them with his flattering cult. If I catch him under this roof, I'll stop his hair shaking. He'll make no more noise with his thyrsus. His head from his body I will sever. He says that Dionysus is a god. He says that he was sewn into the thigh of God. Sewn into the thigh of God. Dionysus, who was lit up by lightning and incinerated along with his mother because she invented a story that God got her pregnant. Tell me now that doesn't deserve a terrible death. I don't like it, but I'll hang it. To insult with insolence and a foreigner no less. Who does he think he is? Here's another one to boggle the mind. Do I see the prophet Tiresias wearing a spotted fawn skin? My own grandfather, what a laugh. Dancing around like a lunatic with his own thyrsus. At your age, have you lost your mind? Lose the ivy. Drop the thyrsus. You're my mother's father, for God's sake. Tiresias put you up to this. What do you want bringing a new god to men? To interpret the birds of heaven? To make a little money? You're lucky you're an old bald man, else I'd have you locked up with the other Bacchae I've caught for supporting this dangerous craze. Of course, you give enough wine to women at a party, and nothing's safe anymore at those orgies.
Blasphemy!
Dear friend, do you have no respect for the gods?
For Cadmus?
He sowed the seeds that were born of the earth.
Echion was one.
You are his boy.
You
disgrace
disgrace
your
your
blood.
When a wise man of reason takes up a virtuous cause, it's not difficult for him to speak well. You have a well-oiled tongue, as if you actually understood something. There's no heart in your words. You're a dangerous man, Pentheus. You have power. You speak with conviction. But you've lost your mind. This new god you laugh at, I can't tell you how big he's going to be in Greece. Two things, young man, are of paramount importance to men. The goddess Demeter, call her what you will. She is the earth itself. She feeds men with the harvest. But the one who came later, the son of Semele, Dionysus, he discovered the succulent drink that we get from a bunch of grapes, and he brought that to mortals. We are not gods. We suffer. But we are released from mortal pain
when we have had our fill of the nectar of the grapevine. It gives us sleep. We forget our daily anxieties. There is no other drug for the stress we endure. We drink Dionysus. We drink him who has become a god. And we drink to the gods. Why? Because it does us good. You laugh at him because they say he was sewn up in the thigh of God? That's a good story. You see, when God snatched Dionysus out of the flame of the lightning bolt, he wasn't born yet. And so God took his fetus up to Olympus to make it a god.